not testable. That's what makes it so difficult for the materialist and the scientist to believe in such
How
a...
is a materialist going to test, observe, and prove God in using physical testing and physical parameters when God is a spiritual being?
All right.
I can use all kinds of physical tests. I can use all kinds of scientific tests to show you and point you to the fact that there is an almighty, intelligent designer. And then using that, I can point you to God, the one true God of the Bible.
Fine. But the thing is, Jim, that I know you get upset, but the scientist
Almighty,
looks at your evidence and can find other explanations.
I don't.
You say, there's irreducible complexity, intelligent design, and then, it gets laughed out on his face in court because scientists come to the, table and prove that it's a bunch of hogwash. I mean,
no, they haven't.
How can you not?
They haven't.
You admonish the scientists, but you don't want to play on their field.
I mean that.
Okay, it's like this. It's like this guy who claims that they're not playing soccer right.
Let me ask you a question.
And yet he never wants to get on the soccer field, right?
That you've got to be able to test this the evidence for God. How did we get here?
How did we get here? You mean like in the meta or the actual question that I asked? The reason how we got here was just me being scientific about it. Me being, let's test the God concept. But the meta of the thing, how do we get here? We got here.
What was created? Did we evolve? Do you believe in the Big Bang? How did we get here?
Evolved. I do believe in the Big Bang. I believe that there's scientific explanations to explain how we got here.
Oh, okay.
Then
we need to actually go out and actually use this in the scientific method. We have to go find us another singularity, another Big Bang, so we can test it, observe it, and use science on it, right?
Something like that. You have a very good point. Okay, we know that the nature of the Big Bang is in a sense repeatable because we also have expansions that we can measure against. The God concept, in the other way, you can't test it.
In the past, that is a one-time event, and it doesn't work.
But listen,
it's not science; it's history at that point.
The thing about the Big Bang that is very interesting to both Christians and scientists is that it's a cause and effect. Something, there was a cause and there was an effect, right? There was an expansion, right? Yep. Now, the thing is that... Right. So, the Christian would like to say that God created the Big Bang, right? Once it was discovered, right? If you believe in the cosmic microwave background radiation, that it was caused by an expansion, then you believe in the Big Bang, right, Jim? I mean, there's this...
I believe that's the way it works, yes.
There's a scientific evidence of a Big Bang, right?
Studies out in the microwave radiation that actually talks more about the way it expands, not just the expansion. So it's very interesting.
But the thing is that the scientist wants to, go towards, like, what do you say, evidentiary.
Now, are we talking about an atheist scientist, or
rules and of that cause? It's not necessarily believing that that one singular all-powerful deity who we've never seen any simile in our universe created it. We want to find out, exactly a scientific basis towards the Big Bang.
And again, are we talking about an atheist scientist or a Christian scientist?
Well, that's what I mean. It's sort of like, okay,
because each one of them have
they're different beasts.
Know what they want to prove. Whether they acknowledge that desire in their heart of what they want to do or not is irrelevant. Every person that goes and does science has some type of presupposition to whatever question.
But the thing is that the scientist that brings in his belief system to, is like tampering with the scientific. He's not necessarily a scientist. You know what I mean? A scientist is saying, well, God created this. He's not doing scientific work if he believes that the answer is within some sort of spiritual metaphysical realm. He has to believe it's within scientific.
No. Hang on a second. If that Christian scientist says, I truly believe that God created this. Now, in this physical realm that we live in, knowing what we know about anatomy, about physicality, about how things do work and function. Now, what should I see and what can I actually use that is testable, provable, repeatable as a Christian scientist that actually either backs up my claim or negates my claim altogether? And then what predictions can you make? So no, sir, you're making a totally false assumption to say that somebody that has a belief system cannot do science. That's completely wrong.
No. Well, the thing is like this: a person can have a belief system, but he can't bring that belief system into the science. I mean, the biggest department. Let me finish. The biggest department at NASA is not like a theology department, and the
Doesn't
biggest
bring their
department
belief
at the
system in, their
JPL
belief
isn't
system
a
that there is
theology
no God
department.
into the situation of the science. Do you think an atheist scientist doesn't bring their belief system? You'd be completely naive in believing that, Bunto. Completely naive.
Okay, why don't we go down to the university and go to some department like the biology, some hard science department, and say, well,
You know what?
you guys
Bunto,
are
if you had the time,
doing
I'd
your
love to do
research
that.
under
But
the
let me
belief that
see
there
what
is
you're
some
going
sort
to
of
find. You're going to
deity,
find
right?
exactly what I'm talking about. Each and every one of those people in there have their own mentality, their own presupposition going in. It doesn't matter.
Okay, I want you
It's
to.
not what you believe matters. It's what you can prove.
I want you to get out.
Science
Okay, what's the
is
closest major
observable,
university to you, Jim?
possible.
University of Louisville.
Observable, possible, repeatable. If it's not that, it's not true science. If you're trying to
Okay,
say something happened years ago and you don't have evidence for it, and I'm talking something that has been observed, somebody that observed it, whatever it might be, then all you're doing is working off suppositions and you're working off major assumptions. So
okay.
once again, if you want science is testable, provable, repeatable, something you can do in your own backyard, Bunto. It's not something that only happens in universities.
No, I'm sorry, Jim, but I mean,
Yeah.
let's go ahead and call the University of Louisville Science Department and ask to
No, I'm
speak to
fine
the
with that.
department. Let's say the department head. What's a good? What science departments they would have down there? Like, would you want to go biology or you want to go physics? Take your pick.
It
We'll
doesn't
come
matter.
down there and ask them. How often do you guys, when you do your research, consider God? The God factor within your
So
work.
what
And
we're talking about, Bunto,
when they come
when
out with
you're
a
talking
result,
about
get the
worship,
fuck out of here.
are you talking about worshiping at the same time they're working? Is that what you're talking?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. I thought that's what you were talking about. There's no way some supposedly
Sir.
quote
No, sir. I
Christian
wasn't talking about
scientist is
worshiping.
going to worry about
I
the
was
God
talking about
factor
using
during
your
their science.
presupposition, your starting point. It doesn't matter who you are. You start from a particular starting point. Now, you use that particular starting point. Be you an atheist or be you a Christian? That particular starting point for a Christian is that there is a loving creator God. Knowing that, what do to use science to test, prove, repeat, observe all these things that I think should be there based on my belief that there is a God. You can do science that way.
Okay.
If it doesn't work, guess what? Your evidence isn't there. If it does, you've got something that backs up your hypothesis. That's
Okay.
called science. I
When you're
love science.
when you're at your local high school, the physics teacher, has to go ahead and explain to the children that there's also the God factor within their, science, right? That there's some
I've
sort of
never
force out there that
and I
affects
teach science. You
physical
know that, right,
reality.
Bunto?
Go ahead,
You're
repeat.
not teach science.
You kind of dropped out there, Jim.
Okay, sorry about that. I said, did you know that I am a substitute teacher and I teach science
You teach science at what level, Jim?
up to high school?
Okay, so you're in a high school science class and you explain to them how the God factor works in the experiment.
Don't have to.
Oh, why not? But you just said, that there's,
No, sir, you're not listening. You
evidence.
keep trying to put something in there that's not there.
Okay, you're
If you
absolutely
want
right. God is
your
not there.
hypothesis,
You disagree.
Bunto, listen. If your hypothesis is, Bunto, if your hypothesis is there was no creator, I do not believe in God, and as such, what should I see to back up that evidence? And then you can create experiments to do to back up your hypothesis. You do realize that, right? And now a person on the flip side could say, I am a believer in God. I know that God created, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now, what should I be able to use science to do to test, prove, and validate my position? Both of those people are coming from diametrically opposed positions. Both of those people using science to either negate or affirm their particular position. You see what I'm saying, Botel? It works both ways.
Okay, and you take pains to explain this to the children while you're substituting, right?
Sure do.
Okay. And the faculty,
Man, that snow is
the
beautiful.
scientific faculty there at the school's fine with that explanation you just gave me, right?
Yes.
Well,
Why wouldn't they be?
why wouldn't they? Because it's nonsense. There's no proviso to science except the scientific method. There's no need for a theism of any sort.
Sure there is. The scientific method doesn't negate or invalidate the belief system of any God believer, especially the Christian. As a matter of fact, it validates our position. It validates our belief system. It boosts our faith to do science.
Okay, the scientist that finds out that there is proof that there is no God. I mean, where does that put him?
But see,
I mean,
again, here you go. You're making
for the proviso you
no
just laid
God.
out.
And Sydney doesn't even know that there's no God. He'll be the first one to tell you there ain't. And he got no proof for it. You got no proof for it. Why do people make these big leaps? Oh, somebody finally comes to this conclusion. No, you don't. You come to the decision that you don't want to have God in your life. That's everybody.
Oh,
please.
Yeah, that is such a... They're so childish when you say shit like that.
Jim, hold on a second. I want to respond. Jim, hold on a second.
The truth.
Jim, I want to respond. Jim, you have decided not to have Elvis in your life. You cannot prove that Elvis does not exist as a god. You can't prove
You know
that.
what? I don't care to. I don't care to, Juicy. It's all good. I don't care to.
Why not? Elvis is king. Jim, it is written. Elvis is king. Face the facts, Jim.
Not the right king, Juicy.
Well, we choose to do exactly the same thing with your Jesus.
Doesn't work that way, Sydney. That's not open to interpretation.
Jim. Sorry, dude. Sorry, buddy. But that's exactly the way it works.
Nope. Sorry.
Yeah, well, Allah will
Truth
punish
works
you.
one way.
Allah will
Now
punish you
you decide.
mercilessly. You'll be out of favor in the eyes of Allah, and you will be punished.
I ain't worried about it.
Well, same thing. I'm not worried about your little false god either.
I never said you weren't. I never said you weren't,
Yes,
Sydney.
you did. You throwing
Oh, no,
all this
there's-
go to
what I
hell.
said
You're
was
gonna go to
you
hell
know
if
in
you
your heart.
sin. You're gonna go to
Sydney,
hell,
what I said
hell.
was, you know in your heart that there is a God. You know in your heart that there is a loving Creator God who loves you and died for your sins. You know this
You see,
innately.
there you go. You're getting all psychopathic again.
You deny it from your unrighteousness. There's no doubt in that.
Did somebody dial 911 for him? You need to go back to the nut house, dude. That's crazy talk.
Not at all. When you
All
know
right.
that the Creator designed us that way, it's not crazy talk at all.
Who designed the creator the way the creator was designed?
The Creator wasn't designed.
Oh, well, explain that then.
God has always existed and always will exist. I mean, go look at
All
the
right, where's
Bible.
the
The Bible
proof of
talks
that?
about
All right,
that.
where's your proof?
Yeah,
Come on.
the end. There's nothing before
You
or
just made
after
a
God.
positive-
God is the only truly
You
self-existent
just
being
made a
that ever has
positive
been or ever will
claim.
be.
You just made a positive
There's a
claim.
loving creator,
Yes, I did.
Elvis, the king.
You know what?
No, hold
He
on,
loved
hold
you,
on,
Jim,
hold
and
on.
died for your sins. Elvis has always existed, Jim.
Hold on. Jim just made a
I
positive.
love me some science. Science is my best friend.
Jim just made a positive claim that God was not
I did.
created and there forever. Okay, well, that's a claim you're gonna have to now back up because with evidence, because you certainly insist on evidence from us. So now you've made a positive claim. Back it up, buddy.
Jim, Elvis loves you, and he died for your sins. Elvis has always existed, Jim. He died on his throne for your sins, on his toilet.
Did you know, Jim, there's more scientific proof for Elvis than God? Because we've had pictures of Elvis.
I've listened to Elvis. I've heard Elvis.
Yeah.
Elvis has sung to me.
Elvis performed more miracles as well than Jesus ever did.
Well,
more myth.
Elvis existed. Jesus didn't.
Elvis made more money than Jesus.
Well,
But not
Elvis
as
was
much as
much
Bill
better
Gates.
than Jesus when he died.
Oh, hang in there, Christian. Don't get all flustered.
Do what?
Hang in there, man. Don't get all upset.
I'm not upset. Look, I don't know why you think I get upset.
Because you're not responding, man.
Well, you get all hypertension.
I just went to get my damn laptop.
Pray for a miracle.
Don't need to. When I need a miracle, I'll pray for one.
Have you ever got one?
Hell yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that how you got rid of your wife?
I got laid.
Hey, Bunto, Jim,
Although that is a prayer concern.
Jim, teacher in Indiana, Bunto. What a surprise! Is that not a surprise to you, Bunto?
Wow. Okay, down.
I'm busy getting my cords out of here.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead, Bunto.
Down. If they offered you to pay you $200,000 a year to be a teacher in a Christian school, would you do it?
No, I would not.
That you would have to teach.
Okay, what did you say? I didn't hear what you
that
said.
everything was created and the Earth was only 600 years old. You wouldn't do that for $200,000?
Nope, I would not.
You wouldn't twist young people's minds that way for $200,000 a year.
No, but I think that that's a really good question though to ask a lot of people. But no, I would not.
Would you, Jim? Hello.
Do what?
Would you teach kids at a Christian private school for $200,000 a year that the Earth was only 600 years old and everything was created? Absolutely no scientific backing at all.
Good. I heard you say something about. Would I teach kids about creation? Yeah, I do that.
Right. Absolutely no scientific proof of it, and you're going to do it.
But there is scientific proof of it.
Really? That's news to like scientists.
Yep. Oh, he is.
That's the kind of world's going to be poor, Juicy.
I mean, trust me, I would love the money, but as a teacher, I believe you have to teach facts.
Right.
You feel it's incumbent upon you to teach children scientifically based subjects.
Otherwise, if you don't teach them facts, they're going to end up with a third world country when it comes to science. Oh,
I
Bunto.
agree. That's why that
yeah.
crap should not be taught.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bunto. I'm going to be an hour outside of New York City now. I found a new property that I've already signed the contract on.
Wow, well, tell
Hey,
us all
come on!
about
We're
it.
talking about the mythology of Christology. So let's keep up with that.
Yeah. I know. I'm not going to divert very long. Your Jim is stuffing his face, though.
That's good news to know, Down.
Yeah,
Hi,
I wanted to give Jim a minute to stuff his face, though. Yeah, Bunto, this property is right in the middle of a 700,000 acre national forest.
How did you manage that?
It's got mold, and the roof is. Yeah, it's got mold. I mean, that's kind of the answer. It's got mold.
Didn't you talk about this like the last time I was on a call?
So, I mean, can you demold it?
Yeah, that's the plan. So, dude,
It's possible to demold, right?
Spores are spores, man.
Yeah, vinegar, bleach, they're all good. Yeah, Bunto, I'm less than 15 minutes away from a train station that'll go right to Penn Station.
Why are you talking about this again, Down? You talk about.
I'm not talking to you, so calm the fuck down. It's literally $11 each way.
You already told him about it.
Excited about it.
I did not tell Bunto about this. I haven't talked to Bunto in fucking 3 months, so shut the fuck up.
Has it been 3 months? It's been a while. Feels like 3 months.
Such a baby, Down. God.
Oh, I don't like you coming in here telling me what I can and cannot say to
I
somebody.
didn't tell you.
That's the way females are, Down. Come on.
I asked you a question.
We'll get right up your ass.
He's a fucking Asperger asshole.
You should see how Sugar talks to me sometime, Down.
Yeah. But long story short, though, man, I'm looking forward to it. Period. So.
All right, man. Good for you.
Hey, Illy.
What's up, Billy?
Oh, I'm just trying to figure out what to do with my monoammonium phosphate.
You talked about that last time. Why did you bring it up again?
I didn't though. So you have to use parallel examples, Down.
Yo,
Monostudio glutamate. Does it taste good?
What?
Hey, does anybody want me to stop by Festus' house when I move? Because I will do it. I will stop by.
Yeah, what happened to Pat Man?
I don't know.
Dude, I will
Pat Man dumped us.
Yo, listen. If you guys mail me a gift, I will personally hand deliver it to his house for you. Because he's only going to be like an hour and a half away from me.
Pat. We became too radioactive for Pat.
No.
I believe he's still on here though, but he's hanging out with the teenagers and and people like
I
that.
know, fucking little pervert.
Mentality equality.
Okay, so if a bunch of your friends online, Illy, were like perverts and child molesters, would it bother you?
If they were child molesters, yes. Not if they were perverts.
Sorry, Rob. There goes Rob and Bulldog. What about if they're rapists?
You put Bulldog in there too?
What if they're rapists, Illy? I mean, could you hang with a rapist?
No.
Well, there goes Luke Dog. Okay. So how about perverts?
Yeah, well,
Perverts, that's their thing. I don't.
Okay, so we can hang with kids. Okay, good.
well, I'm definitely a pervert though too. Yo, Bunto, the thing with Bulldog though, are you talking about when he asked those boys to show their gherkins or whatever?
Gherkin jerkin.
Yeah, well, I don't know if there was a follow. I don't know if there was a follow-up, incident to that or not. That's why I was asking. That's
Silly.
Bunto.
What
That's
happens if you fell in love with a
That was
guy
all
and he
silly
turned out to be a
bullshit, that's
molester? Would you be upset?
What do you mean a molester?
I mean, like, and then you find out the guy comes clean. He tells you he's got a record. He served time in prison for diddling with kids.
So he's a pedophile?
Yeah, I mean, would it upset you?
Why do you bring up that shit
Yeah, it would
as a
upset me.
topic?
Well, because maybe some people's, aren't so.
No. Bunto's making a
picky.
good point. Bunto's making a very good point here, though. So, Illy, there's a group of Brits that run around. Hold on a second. They run around calling Bunto, Sydney, and myself pedos.
They haven't called me a fucking pedo yet.
Yeah, but they will. But anyways, while they're running around calling us these names, they freely associate with with people that are sex offenders. It's very ironic.
I never believe anyone who calls someone else a pedophile. That's the most ridiculous troll tactic I've ever seen.
Meet MG Pillbox, Hilly.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, Pillbox. She could actually mentor Pillbox. That'd be good.
Okay, but you're
I
good
don't
to hang with us
understand
Satanists, right, Illy? You can hang with Satanists like us.
Yes. I like Satanists.
Good.
In fact, Satan is buying my house. I made a patent for $22,000.
Oh, wow. Profit.
22,000 is not much money, man. But I'm telling you, when you have it stacked around you like I do, I feel depressed about having to spend it. It's very depressing.
22,000 make things a lot better for me.
What about you, Lily? With 22 G's, turn your life around.
Would you love
No.
me, honey? If I gave you $22,000, would you love me?
No, that's not very much money, actually.
Oh shit! I gotta work harder.
So there you go. She is very pragmatic, and I agree with her. 22,000 ain't jack, and this is from a girl up in North Dakota. So I agree with you.
Love it.
I get $3,200 a month for child support.
Holy
and
cow!
I
Bang!
usually get it in checks, like $25,000 check for however many
You have a
months.
good ex-husband, honey. It's good, man.
Not an ex-husband, just that abusive fuck that I had a son with him. So.
Well, that's ex-husband.
But, well, I wasn't married to him, so.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
you weren't married to him?
it's still a common law thing when they do all that crap. So good for you.
Nah, it's just called sperm and egg.
But the thing is, honey, that the guy has enough decency to pay you, man.
Yeah, but now he's broke.
I wonder why that is. Maybe $3,500 a month.
No, that's not why he's broke, dude.
Shit, life. So did you graduate from high school, or did you what's it called? GOE out? I forget what they call it now.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I have 2 college degrees.
Okay, but what's it called when you don't graduate college, but you GED, yeah. But you graduated high school, right?
And I have 2 college degrees.
Well, I would say it's more, let's say you didn't graduate high school and you got 2 college degrees. I still think that's better. It's like, wow, who needs high school?
Well, you need high school to get to college.
No, you don't. You can get in with a GED, hon.
Oh, true. No, I graduated. I guess it doesn't really matter, but I did.
And so you sailed through high school, right? It was too easy for you?
Yeah.
So you fucked off and didn't go to class and got thrown out?
I went to Des Lacs, a really small town. You couldn't really do that. So no, I went to class. I had to.
My high school was designed for getting you into the military. It was there was a military recruitment office practically fucking in the high school. It's when I went to the guidance counselor and told her I liked computers, they were like, hey, they got computers in the Army too, guy. Why don't you check that out? It was
I graduated with 42 people.
Wow, that